Hello builders, and welcome back to the World Zoo project, a giant zoo we're building over on Twitch, where we are trying to fit a habitat for every single animal in the game. And this area of the zoo is known as the Outback Trails, where we are fitting all the Australian and New Zealand animals in it. And in today's video I have for you the sweet doggos, the dingoes. Yes, those little doggies that you probably don't want to put your hands in to pet. Well, maybe you do, but you ain't getting that hand back if you try to pet them, that's for sure. And hey, if you end up liking this video even a little bit, why don't you leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTuber things. Or don't, that's fine with me. I'm going to be doing this anyways because I just enjoy playing Planet Zoo. And hey, maybe if you want, why don't you put that little section down below and go click that link to go join me on Twitch? Yeah, why don't you try that? Yeah, you know you want to. So, now let's just take a couple hours of work and condense it down to a few minutes so you can see the progress we take to build these habitats. And the first thing on the agenda is to do some terrain modeling and making sure the habitat has a nice shape to it, because I don't like having flat, square, boring habitats. No sir, not at all. I love having some valleys and some cliffs and some hills and anything that just makes the habitat pop a little bit more. In case you're wondering what this building is that we were just putting all that terrain over top of, well, that is the viewing area for the dingoes. I had built it previously in the last video where we were having the Tasmanian devils featured, being that the Tasmanian devils and the dingoes share one viewing area for guests to wander through. And if you want to see how I built that, a link to that video is down below. And this thing that we're currently building is going to be a viewing area that will house an education point so guests can come and listen to an educator talk all about the dingoes and do their education job. Because when you go to the zoo, you want to learn about animals. What else are you there for? To see the cute little animals? Well, okay, maybe most people usually go to see that, but you know what? It doesn't hurt to learn a little bit while you're there. But not right now. Right now we're not talking about learning, we're talking about building. And this construction that we're building is based purely on what we have done before in this area. The Outback Trails is supposed to be based in the Australian Outback, but more of an oasis in the middle of the desert. So we're using a lot of the red rock to really accentuate that and blend it in with the rest of the area. But let's leave that building behind for just a little bit and come and work on the Dingo Cave. This is going to be a sleeping area for those sweet little dingoes to rest in. And being true to the name cave, we are going to make it look like it's all underground. This way it looks like the dingoes had hollowed out their own private cave to hang out in and just be cute little puppers. And whenever I get the excuse to do it, I just love putting these underground caves in for the animals to rest and sleep in. Besides, I just like doing rock work. Rock work is one of my favorite things to do in Planet Zoo in games like this. So anytime I have a chance to just use more rocks, I'm going to have a good time. That's a guarantee. I love putting rocks so much that I ended up just deleting most of the floor that I had put down previously and just replace them with, well, more rocks. Why not go all the way when you're doing rocks? I'll make it look a little bit more natural and we'll make those dogs even happier. And speaking of rock work and getting away from Planet Zoo just for a little bit, Planet Coaster 2 has just come out and I have to say I'm quite happy with the rocks that have come out in that game. They are quite well detailed, and also the ability to scale rocks is something I've been wanting in Planet Zoo for ages. So I am so happy to see that as an option for Planet Coaster. And if you want to see what I'm building on Planet Coaster, why don't you just click that Twitch link down below and come check me out on over there. I always love saying hi to new people, especially people who love to build. And anyone who does follow me on Twitch will get their name in this zoo. I have many boards all throughout my areas, and every follower on Twitch gets their name up in there somewhere. Okay, that cave is now done. Let's come outside and do a little bit more detailing out here. I wanted this habitat to look a little bit more like a desert, so the edges are going to be covered with sand and less plants. But in keeping with the whole theme that this is an oasis in the middle of the desert, I decided to give the dingoes their own private watering hole right outside their cave. But before we can get to that, I need to really quickly build this exterior wall to prevent the dingoes from escaping, and to prevent the guests from trying to pet those danger dongos. Doggos, jeez. I'm trying to say too many words at once right now and it is failing. Why am I leaving this in the video? I don't know. I probably should just cut it and redo it, but I'm not going to do it because I'm lazy. They are now danger dongos, or dingo, whatever I said. They are danger dingoes. There, that's better. That's proper English, I think. And here we go, that oasis I promised you that I was going to be building. And of course, you know I need to put a waterfall in there. It wouldn't be one of my habitats if I don't squeeze in a secret waterfall. If you are looking at that train track in the background and you're a little curious what that is, well, that's a train track. Good for you, you probably figured that out on your own. No, but really, this is a train that I am building around the entire zoo, and it's probably going to be stopping off in 5 or 6 different areas. It's actually one of the first things I started building when we started the zoo way back in January, and it is going to be one of the final things I build, as it won't be fully complete until we build every area of the zoo. I can't wait for it to be complete, because by that point the zoo will be complete, but we can then finally ride the entire train track together on the channel. And now it's time to start decorating the terrain with a little bit of green here and there, mostly around the oasis, with a few patches of green elsewhere up on the hill because I want to put a couple sprinklers up there later. And those sprinklers are of course going to keep the grass alive and allow the cute little danger doggos to do their little thing in the water. And slowly transitioning away from that exciting world of rock work. You know, I say slowly because we're still working on rocks, but we're coming up here to work on the education point once again. That way guests can have a nice safe area to learn about the dangers of not petting wild dingoes, otherwise you're going to lose a hand. And that is precisely why I put fencing in instead of glass, just to tempt people to try and put their fingers through and lose them. You know, you gotta weed out the stupid sometimes. And with all that rock work done and set up, let's get onto the final home stretch and start putting in some plants to really decorate this habitat. Aside from doing all the rock work, this is probably my favorite part of the build because this is the last part where everything really comes to life and you can see all your work come together in one green blob. And one recommendation I have for you, if you want to accentuate your rock work, try putting just random plants and bushes hidden inside of it. Plants are always trying to grow in every rock and crevice, quite literally in this case. So you know what? Go ahead and throw a couple plants on your rocks. It'll just make your habitat look that much better. And with all those beautiful plants placed in, this habitat is almost complete. In cases like this, I just love using the dried out and more dead looking plants to fill the space. After all, just because it's a desert doesn't mean we can't just put some beautiful plant work in. Those deserts deserve some beautiful plant work too, don't they? And now the last thing to do after doing most of the plant work is just to go through with a fine-tooth comb and add in a few extra details here and there. Fill up all this empty space with some more rocks and plants, just to make the habitat look a little less empty and gives the dingoes something to interact with. Well, builders, we're nearing the end of the video, and I should probably do that thing YouTubers like doing, where they ask you to sub and like and comment and do a proper outro, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say have a good day, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Is that all I want to do for an outro? I think it is. If this was a normal outro, maybe I would try sneaking in some stuff about Twitch and all that, but I feel like I've said that already. Besides, anyone who's been on YouTube for any amount of time and have ever watched a video knows the drill at this point. You're either going to do it or you're not. I'm not going to force you. So let's just end the video there with a nice cinematic route tour of this habitat. The next and final video for the Australian outback is going to be for the kangaroos and the wallabies, which will be sharing one hopping habitat together. So stop by later for that one if you feel like it. Well, builders, hope you enjoy this cinematic route tour. Have a great day. Goodbye.